Hey Paradox fans, if you've chosen the Hollow Path, you're in for a treat because today we're diving into the Paradox Resurrection tier list. Now, I know there aren't a ton of resurrections in the drop pool, but trust me, knowing which ones are absolute beasts and which ones, well, aren't worth your time is gonna make all the difference. Whether you're aiming to crush your enemies with insane damage or tank hits like an unstoppable wall, choosing the right resurrection is key. So, stick around because I'm breaking down the best resurrections to help you dominate the battlefield. We'll go over everything you need to know to make sure your Hollow build is chef's kiss perfection. Whether you want to shred through your enemies or stand strong and take all the hits, I've got the tips and insights you need to choose the right resurrection for your playstyle. Let's get into it. I'm quickly moving on to the video, and I'm ranking resurrections in Paradox. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
A very small portion of the audience is subscribed to the channel. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like these types of videos. Thanks.
The resurrections in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Heaven, Resurrection. Alright, here we go. Time to dive into the least exciting resurrections in Paradox. Yep, you guessed it. We're hitting the C tier, where resurrections are about as thrilling as watching paint dry. First up on the snooze list, the Heaven Resurrection. If you're a fan of the most common basic drops, this one's got an 89% chance of popping up, so you'll probably see it a lot. And honestly, it's kinda like the white bread of resurrections. Safe, reliable, but not exactly flavorful. So what does it do? Well, it gives you a shield, which is nice, I guess. You also get 2 damage dealing moves, Divine Impale and Divine Spear. Sounds epic, right? But don't get too excited. These moves are like the equivalent of flashy fireworks that fizzle out. The first one, Spear Shield, is basically summoning a tornado of holy energy and spears to protect yourself. Picture a fancy light show that, sure, looks cool, but doesn't pack that oomph you're hoping for. And then we've got Divine Impale. This one's all about stabbing and scattering, which might sound intense, but in practice, it's like, okay, you poked them, now what? It's one of those moves that leaves you wishing for a bit more. Maybe a follow-up, maybe some extra punch, something that makes it feel like it belongs higher than the C tier. But nah, it just kinda sits there, leaving you underwhelmed. Finally, Divine Spear. Probably the coolest sounding move of the bunch. You summon this giant holy lance and for a second you're thinking, alright, now we're talking. But when you launch it, it's more of a glorified javelin throw than a game changer. It's decent, but definitely not enough to save Heaven Resurrection from the boring side of the list. The resurrections in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Panther Resurrection and Gunner's Resurrection. So you've made it this far, and you're looking for that sweet spot between power and practicality. Welcome to the world of B-tier resurrections in Paradox. These transformations are like that friend who shows up to the party and surprises everyone with one great dance move, and then goes back to eating chips for the rest of the night. They're not useless, but they're not exactly lighting the stage on fire either. Think of them as your situational sidekicks, coming through when the stars align, but maybe not your first pick every time. Let's kick things off with the Panther Resurrection, a rare beast, literally, with a 10% drop rate chance. This one is all about claws, speed, and some flashy moves. You've got the Grand Ray Zero ability, which, if you time it right, is an absolute spectacle. Picture this, Reiatsu raining down as you fire a massive Grand Zero towards your opponent. It's like a mini fireworks show, but, you know, aimed directly at someone's face. However, here's the catch. Other than that big moment, the Panther doesn't bring a ton to the table. You've got Shallow Dance, a flurry of claw slashes as you charge forward, and Claw Strike, a Zero-infused slash that lets you flash step if it connects. It's cool, but it's not exactly the most versatile kit out there. Next up, the Gunner's Resurrection. Now, this one's a bit of a unicorn, with only a 1% drop rate. Talk about exclusive. The main draw here? You get to summon wolves. Yes, wolves. They'll charge at the nearest enemy, which is fantastic for taking the heat off you for a bit. But beyond that, this transformation feels a bit like a mixed bag. Furious Kick is your counter move, delivering a powerful blast. When it works, it's satisfying, but it's not always easy to pull off. Then there's Kero Metra Leta, where you unleash a barrage of explosive shots. This can be fun, especially if you're a fan of flashy combos, but again, it's all about timing. And finally, there's Wolves, where you get to release your hounds upon your opponent. It's a bit chaotic, but hey, sometimes chaos works. The thing with B tier resurrections is that they feel like they're one ability short of greatness. You can tell the potential is there, but they never quite hit that S tier level of impact. They're those transformations you pull out when you know exactly what you're up against and how to counter it. But if you're just looking for raw power, you might feel a bit underwhelmed. That's why they're a solid option in the right hands, but need a little finesse to make them shine. Now don't get me wrong, if you love experimenting or you just happen to get one of these drops early, absolutely go for it. Mastering these resurrections can be rewarding, and pulling off a perfectly timed Grand Race Zero or summoning your wolf pack at the exact right moment can change the tide of battle. It's all about playing to their strengths, even if those strengths come in small bursts. In the end, B tier resurrections are for those of us who love a bit of variety, a bit of unpredictability. They're the wild cards in your deck, ready to bring the heat in the most unexpected ways. So, if you're feeling lucky, why not give them a shot? Just don't be surprised if they occasionally let you down. After all, that's the beauty of rolling with B tier. The resurrections in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Bat Resurrection. Alright folks, imagine this. You're down, your health is at 0, your allies are scrambling and it looks like game over. But wait, bam, you hit that resurrection ability and suddenly, it's not over. It's comeback time and you're about to change the whole flow of battle. That's the power of A tier resurrections in Paradox. These aren't your average run-of-the-mill revives. Oh no, these bad boys are designed to give you a fighting chance and then some. Let's kick things off with one of my favorites, the Bat Resurrection. Sounds cool, right? Well, it lives up to the name. This one is legendary, literally. We're talking a 1% drop rate, so if you manage to snag it, you know it's a big deal. Picture this. You blast a powerful Zero right from your hand, and before your enemies can even react, you perform a lightning-fast Sonido move that leaves a trail of slashes. But wait, there's more. You can summon an orb that drags every target around right into its pool before exploding. I mean, come on, who doesn't love a dramatic entrance like that? And don't even get me started on the moveset. Move 1. Finalizando Zero. You raise your hand and bam, a quick yet devastating blast of energy hits your target. Perfect for taking down those annoying mobs or knocking a chunk of health off a boss. Then, move 2. Sonido Slashes. The speed on this is wild. You zip through your enemies, leaving them with a flurry of strikes before they even know what's happening. It's a game changer when you need to create chaos and dodge attacks at the same time. Finally, we've got move 3, Venganza. Now, this one is epic. You leap into the air and launch an orb that pulls enemies in like a magnet before it implodes. This is where strategy comes in. You time it just right and you've got yourself a massive crowd control move that also dishes out major damage. All in all, Bat Resurrection isn't just about bringing you back, it's about giving you the power to dominate right after. If you see it drop, you better grab it because this is the A tier game changer you'll want in your arsenal. The resurrections in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Divinity Resurrection. Alright, let's cut to the chase. If you're a holo player looking for the resurrection to flex in Paradox, look no further. We're talking about the absolute peak, the Divinity Resurrection. This isn't just any resurrection, it's the one every player dreams of. Why? Well, it's legendary, literally. With only a 1% drop rate, wielding this bad boy is like showing off a golden ticket in the middle of a treasure hunt. You've got that ultra rare neon scythe in your hand, and trust me, it feels as powerful as it looks. Now, let's dive into why the Divinity Resurrection is an S tier masterpiece. First up, it's all about style and substance. You get this insane move called Energy Sweep. And no, this isn't some basic slash attack. You're literally slicing through enemies like they're butter, leaving a trail of chaos in your wake. It's brutal, it's flashy, and it's everything you want when you're trying to make a statement. This move is practically screaming, get out of my way or get wrecked. But wait, it gets even crazier. There's a move called Death Ball, and trust me, the name does not lie. You leap into the air, conjuring a massive orb that slams down into the ground like a meteor. Anyone unlucky enough to be caught in its path, yeah, they're done for. This is your go-to when you want to clear the field and assert your dominance. It's like saying, I own this battlefield and you're just visiting. And finally, Plasma Burst. This is where speed meets precision. You move with this insane agility, cleaving enemies before they even realize what hit them. It's all about quick, calculated strikes that show off just how much power you've got. Plasma Burst isn't just about dealing damage, it's about showing off your finesse as a holo player. It's the perfect finishing touch to this legendary arsenal. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.